So what I mean, this is Lk of x, okay? It's some multiplication of all these terms when as you see in your denominator, if your I is equal to k, you have a 0 at denominator, which you cannot have that. That's why I say I cannot be equal to k. But I can change from 0 to n, but it cannot have a value that is equal to k. Okay? When you have that, you do all of this multiplication based on the order of your calculation. This n that you have is basically the number of data points that you have. So that's the order of approximation that you are considering. But you consider all of these terms to be multiplied to each other for different order, and then after you have that, you are able to write it down for this summation and be able to find out what is the answer. This is a little bit weird. Let's understand it through an example, because we are not going to be able to understand it this way, okay? So let's n is the order of our polynomial. So consider, let's write this down for an example. Let's see if I have access to, say, let's do it for linear first. For linear, I have access to x0, f of x0, x1, f of x1, right? I have these two data points, and I want to write it down, write what are the terms for my Lk of x. So for Lk of x, I have, first of all, my k can change from 0 to n, and n is the order of my approximation, because I have 2 points. 2 minus 1 is 1. So my k can change from 0 to 1 because I have 2 data points. As you see, I only have x0 and x1 because I have 2 data points. So I put that n equals to 1, and my f1 of x is equal to k my k can be equal to 0, or k can be 1. Do you agree? It can be even 0 or 1. I want to write down what can write for Lk of x. As long as you know how to write your Lk of x, you are able to do the rest. So if I say my k can be even 0 or 1. First, I consider my k is equal to 0, right? So I write down, maybe I have a white page open instead of having this messy. So my k is 0. If my k is 0, my Lk of x is equal to product from I equals to 0 up to 1. I is not equal to k. X minus xi divided by xk minus xi. I want you to tell me. So first my k is 0. So my L0 of x, L0 of x is equal to, product means I just multiply different things that I have. So right now my k is equal to 0. So this k here is 0. So I say I count from I equals to 0 up to 1. I do the multiplication for that. But my I cannot be equal to 0 because my k here is 0. So I only have one term, and that's when my k is equal to 1, right? So what should I write? I should write x minus x1 divided by, my k is 0, divided by x0 minus x1. Do you agree? Everybody? Do you agree with this? Yes? So you should tell me what should I write down for k equals to 1. I want to write what is L1 of x. What is L1 of x then? X minus x0
by x
divided by x1 minus x0. Right? Everybody agree with this? Everybody agree with that? Yes? So these are the L's that I have, but then I say I want to write down my f of x is equal to summation of n equals to 0 to k to n, no, summation of 0 to n ln of x times f of xn. So so for that you can have even your n is equal to 0 or equal to 1. So it has two terms. For the first term, your data points are x0, f of x0, x1, f of x1. You only have these two data points, right? So for that, you want to write down what is the, I think we should write it as f2 of x. It's equal to L0 of x, f of x0 plus L L1 of x, f of x1. Does it make sense? This f of x0 and f of x1 are the data points that you have, the y's of your points that you have. And then when you put it together, because of these x's, this is x, this is x, you have x to the power of 1. Eventually you have a linear equation when you simplify. Does it make sense? So if I this is the method that we call it Lagrange method. If I want to do the same thing for 3 points, are you able to tell me how to write down the quadratic function? Let's do it together. I do the first, you do second step. Can you make it? Okay, so this is that was the linear one. I write it as that. Now for next one, I have another point. I have x2, f of x2. I have these 3 points, right? And now I want to write the equation for that. But first thing is first. Again, the equation is the same thing, but it looks different. I should tell you how. So for this, I have 3 data points, and my k can be even 0, 1, or 2, right? So again my k is 0, but what you get in right hand side is different. So if my k is equal to 0, my I can be what? If my k is, for the previous case, my I could be even 1 or 0. For this case, if k is 0, my I can be what? Because of the denominator. If k is equal to 0, I can be even 1 or 2, right? So, let me write down what is that. So I consider the first term is if k is 0, I is 1.